Whew, good morning. Oh. Wow, that came too early. Oh. Thinking Little Hunter's Beach this morning. Yeah, let's do it. Nice thing about getting up before sunrise is that you basically got the park to yourself. It's been 5 years since I last returned to Acadia, and I was so looking forward to this trip. And here I am, especially in these moments at sunrise. It's late May and therefore early National Park season. And my hope was that I can have these spaces to myself. And so while I plan to make the environmental shots, the larger shots of the environment that we are all often used to seeing, this trip I really wanted to go deeper and pull out the elements within the environment, those deeper, intimate shots that make up the environment as a whole. And what better than trees and rocks? As many of you know, I love photographing trees, especially solo trees, and I love photographing rocks. But the combination of the two, the idea that trees can root themselves on top of granite, on top of these sediments, and find a way to flourish, especially by the seaside, which is even harder with that climate. I am just always fascinated, and it draws me in, and I just want to aim my lens and find those intimate scenes, those survivors, those trees who add the beauty that we connect with. Just penetrates through the clouds and lights up this rock right here. That tree has been calling me all morning. I get my shot now. As fast as the sun came out, it went back in. I was able to get 2 shots in before losing the light. Look at the difference of this fleeting light taken within seconds of each other. And so this trip, I want to go a little deeper. I want to pull out and draw out these intimate scenes. Beauty is everywhere. It's everywhere. We just have to go deeper and seek it. It's quite something to have Acadia to myself at sunrise and shortly afterward. I mean, there hasn't been a car in sight since I left Little Hunter's Beach. It's Friday morning, and I'm sure tomorrow will be slightly different, but being that it's late May, I still believe I can enjoy photographing Acadia at sunrise without large crowds. And Acadia is among the top 10 most visited national parks in the country. I believe it ranked 5th last year. And if you're wondering which is number 1, that would be the Great Smoky Mountains. So you can imagine what's next on my agenda. No, not the Smoky Mountains. Well, on second thought, maybe. I mean, it is on the list. But my agenda right now is coffee. And I can't begin to express how much I look forward to morning camp coffee. And for some reason, it always tastes better at camp. Now would be a great time to share a book with my viewers. Guys, if you're planning a trip to Acadia, this is a must-have book. It was written by a photographer for photographers, and I can't recommend it enough. While I did attend a class by Colleen Minnick, the author of this book, we don't know each other personally. There's no affiliation here. But I did get my book signed. Woohoo! I contacted Colleen to ask permission to plug her book and learned that she published a second edition with plenty of improvements, which I am now in possession of. So I'm looking forward to discovering the improvements in this new edition for my next visit to Acadia, and this time in a different season. I'm thinking autumn. Anyway, this is one fantastic book for planning and photographing in Acadia. You'll find a shoot calendar for the best time of day for locations across Mount Desert Island, Scudic Peninsula, and even Isle of Houde. There are plenty of Colleen's images for visuals, ideas, and inspiration. You also find fascinating tidbits of Acadia's history, like George Dorr, often referred to as the father of Acadia, and how he established land for Lafayette National Park, which today is known as Acadia National Park. I've used this book for my last 2 visits here and continually refer to it and use it for inspiration. Good stuff. If you're watching, Colleen, thank you for all your effort and talent in creating this gem of a book. I spent the afternoon scouting with a visit to Bar Harbor and then a hike along Compass Harbor Trail. It's a delightful short walk. This lovely short trail leads to views of Frenchman Bay and Bald Porcupine Island. And when you reach the shore, you can hustle out to the rocky outcrop of Compass Harbor with some minor agility skills. I made a few iPhone snaps and decided to just find a nice large rock to sit down, enjoy a snack, enjoy a view, and listen as the waves met their rocky demise. I decided to visit Cadillac Mountain during late afternoon light. The idea was to visit when most tourists would be dining in downtown Bar Harbor. But let's head back down this mountain because that all begins here. As of recently, Cadillac Mountain is another national park location that now requires a reservation for Cadillac Mountain, which can be made online. There's actually 2 reservations, one just for sunrise and another throughout the day and sunset. Good evening.
Hello, how are ya?
I'm pretty good. Yourself?
Good, thanks. Got a reservation for tonight?
Yeah, I do.
Perfect.
I'm a little early.
That's fine. I can let you half an hour beforehand.
Oh, cool. All right.
You are all good to go. And then I see your Parks Pass on your dash, so you're all set.
All right. Thanks so much.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Furthermore, a reservation can only be made 2 days in advance, and the sunrise times book super fast. I did plan to shoot sunrise here. However, this is one of those rare instances where many tourists will actually get up before sunrise so they can be one of the first to see the sunrise in the continental U.S. Although that only happens 6 months out of the year at Cadillac Mountain, as there are other contenders, one of which I believe is Mars Hill. You'll have to look it up. Anyway, sunrise for me is a special time, in part because it's so peaceful and quiet, and the beginning of a new day. These ephemeral moments fill the soul with energy and renewal. The notion of fighting hundreds of tourists, many who wouldn't think twice of standing in front of my tripod, despite me being there first, simply discourages me. So I am just meandering around the top of Cadillac Mountain, having a good old time. Taking shots as I go, handheld. I don't know why I bought my tripod. Anyway, it's fun. It's nice to be up here. I forgot how beautiful this was. And I'm just shooting little intimate scenes and that sort of thing. Just enjoying the time I have up here. And it's good to be here. This idea of shooting with freedom, a run and gun approach without the use of a tripod, is quite liberating. I find myself expressing my ideas more, moving around more, getting just the right spot for better composition, and aligning the important elements within the frame. All right, dinner is taken care of. Did some quick grilling. We have a sunset to catch. Tonight, gonna hit the Otter Point Overlook. I like to get there a little bit early. Park has not been that busy at all. It's been really easy to navigate and get around. But hey, we'll see what happens. I'll see you there. Blackwoods Campground is a fantastic base camp to explore Acadia. I take the back roads directly into the park, like Otter Cliff Road, which drops me onto Park Loop Road at Boulder Beach. We're talking within minutes. I'm that close. One of the reasons why I wanted to get here early was because that sun is going to go beneath those trees prior to last light. Getting here a little bit early so that we don't miss the opportunity, maybe capture a sunburst or at least get the sun before it vanishes behind those behind those trees. So we'll see if there's any afterburn. Maybe work with that. But let me show you what I'm talking about here. We still have probably an hour, just shy of an hour to sunset. You can see that sun's going to disappear, sooner than that. Jeez, look at this. We have a field day in here. This is beautiful. Oh, geez. My card filled up. I'm racing the light. And this is the second time I'm recording this, because the first time I'm apparently talking to a camera who has a full memory card, and therefore nothing gets recorded. Anyway, the sun is setting. I wanted to try something different for Otter Point, and I love trees. I love solo trees. I just love trees. I'm attracted to them. They just jazz me up, especially trees with lots of character like this. And I thought this would be a good foreground element to frame my sun before it fades below that. Can you even see me? This is crazy. Yeah, I'm about to lose this sun. Let me get shooting, because this is going to be a good shot. I'm going to have to do a lot of focus stacking on this. There's just lots of elements. I'm shooting wide. I don't want to go too high because I don't want to distort the scene. But at the same time, I got too much weight down below here. I better get shooting because I'm going to lose that light. I'm going to lose that sun. And I might as well do a sunburst while I'm at it. Let's do it. I just noticed there's all this poison ivy here. It's everywhere, and I was sitting right in front of it. I don't think I touched it. I hope I didn't. That would really suck. Anyway, we'll see. Time will tell. Maybe by the time I'm done with my trip, the itches will start, or maybe they won't start at all. And I'm going with that. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. So for this trip, I had a personal goal to capture Jordan Pond during golden hour for a large print to hang on my wall. I captured Jordan Pond in the previous episode, but it's still not what I had in mind. I wanted the quintessential image of Jordan Pond as I remembered it from my first visit years ago. I recall the experience of Jordan Pond slowly revealing her beauty as it descended the steps. And so tonight, I hope to capture that vision. I may have lucked out. There looks like there's still a little bit of light left with some reflections on the pond here. And the water's much calmer than it was last night. While there was still light to work with, I felt myself rushing, and I was pretty exhausted from a full day of exploring, and it showed in my composition. Unfortunately, due to my mind not being in the right place, this image holds too much weight in the lower right side frame. While the clouds do counterbalance that weight somewhat, the lower left frame is void of foreground elements, and lacking symmetry, this scene naturally reveals, causing tension and possibly leading the eye out of the frame. So that makes 2 failed attempts for my large wall print vision. But there's still time, and I shall return to experience the tranquility and raw beauty of Jordan Pond's allure.